If only I could. If only.
Hello my acceptable people, this is me, Mr. Acceptable. So today I thought I'll give you a Photoshop tutorial on how I made my logo, because a few of you have been asking how did you make your logo. So first of all, you want to click on File and New, which is Control N on a Windows keyboard and Command N on a Mac. So once you click that, you want to name your file appropriately. So for today's example, I'm just going to write example logo. Once you've given it a name, you have to change your size, so make sure the drop down menu is on pixels for the width and the height, and you make sure this is 800 by 800. You can leave the resolution how it is, just make sure the background is black, so this is so the logo can stand out, because we'll be making it in white. Okay, so now you want to go down to the left hand side of Photoshop and click on this little T. What this does is bring up text. Now for this particular tutorial I'll be using Kremlin regular. The download will be in the description. So okay, once you've selected your appropriate text or one you like, it could be my one, you want to set the size to 350. That's just recommended. You can change it, but I just recommend you do that. Once you've done that, you want to pick white as your color so it stands out on the black background. Okay, so my name is Mr. Acceptable, so I'm gonna incorporate M with A for Mr. Acceptable. So first off, I'm just gonna click on this tick to confirm that. Now I have my M. Now I want to click on this little move tool and position it in the middle. You know it's positioned because of the line that shows up on the screen when you move it to the middle. Now we've got our M, and now we just need an A, so we click on that T again, click on the screen and click A. So this is Mr. Acceptable. So for example, if your name is Killer Duck, just put a K and a D together and move it around, preferably how you want it. So I'm going to move the A into the M, make sure everything's lined up, and just move it up with the arrow keys on the keyboard to make sure it's positioned properly. Now I'm just going to keep tapping away at the keyboard until I'm happy with the positioning on the logo. Okay, once you are happy with your positioning, you want to go down to the right hand side and hold down Control on your keyboard or Command and click on both of the layers. Now you want to right click and rasterize these types, so it basically makes it like one solid shape, so you can like change it. So you want to right click again and merge these layers, and now what you want to do is position this in the middle. You know it's in the middle because it will lock into place. So once it's locked into place, you want to leave it, and then you want to click Control T. This now enables you to resize the layer, so you want to hold down Shift and drag out the corners and click the tick button when you're happy. You can resize it accordingly. Just once you're happy, press the little tick button, and then once again you reposition the text in the middle. Obviously you know this is in the middle because it snaps into position. Okay, making sure that the layer is selected, you want to click on this FX button and click on blending options. Once this comes up, you want to click on Bevel and Emboss. You want to move this so you can see your logo, and then now once you've clicked on Bevel and Emboss, on the style you want to click on Inner Bevel. Under the technique, you want to click on the drop down menu and click on Chisel Hard. Now the way you change the settings is completely up to you. It's basically how you prefer it. There's loads of options and you can always come back to it later. Just play around with it and see what you like. Now notice on the screen that I have these problems with the edges, one here and one down here. To fix this, you want to unclick the Bevel and Emboss and click OK. Now using this square rectangular tool, you want to create a selection around the mistake and click delete when you're happy with it. Make sure it's closest to the edge. Okay, once you've deleted that, you want to go to the other side, create a selection, make sure it's closest to the edge, so it's just cutting off the mistake. Click delete, and to unselect this you want to click back on that rectangular and click on the screen. Now you want to go back to FX and blending options and re-tick bevel and emboss. Now like I said before, just mess around with the settings until you are satisfied with what you like. Honestly, it's just really down to you now on what you do with the bevel and emboss settings. Just whatever works best with what letters you have combined. So now you want to unclick the background layer so you can create a shadow. So you want to click on FX and drop shadow. Now again, this is completely up to you on how you make the shadow. Just make sure it's just not overpowered so it doesn't really destroy the screen, if you know what I mean. Just play around with it. Again, it's self-explanatory, so whatever you prefer you use. Okay, once that's done, I think you should resize it so it fits the screen more, so it's just like more, fills up more space, so that, yeah, I just think if it's too small then there's no point of having it. You might as well fill as much space up as possible. Then you want to reposition it in the middle, and obviously you want to save this, so you click on file, save as, and then you want to make sure this logo is a PNG. You can save it with a background, but it's up to you. But obviously you're going to save it as a PNG so you can overlay it in videos and so forth, and you can use it as a watermark on your videos. So you want to click save and click OK. Okay, so let's work on the background. Now to work on the background we want to unlock this layer so we can work on the background. So click on this little padlock icon, and once you've clicked on this little padlock icon you want to click on effects. Once you've clicked on effects you want to go to blending options. Now under blending options you want to click on gradient overlay. Mine's already set up, but you can have whatever you want. It's mainly up to you, so you can have any of these gradients. Again, it's all about self-explanatory. So for example, if we wanted this particular gradient, we click on this gradient, and then what we do is click on the actual gradient itself, and then it gives you more options. Now because obviously this is a tutorial on how I made my one, we are going to make obviously my one. So once you've got your layer selected you want to click on noise. Now under noise options you want to drag red all the way up and drag green all the way up. Now for the blue you drag it all the way down. Now because it's all gone yellow we want to mess around with green and turn it down, because obviously there's two spinners. You just want to mess around with it until you're satisfied with the color. So yeah, just mess around with that until you're specifically happy. Yeah, then again it's all about self-explanatory on what you prefer. So yeah, just mess around with these little sliders until you're satisfied with the specific color. Also, before you click OK you want to click on restrict colors. This adds a bit more color to it, like it gives it more of an effect. And then now you're ready to go. Click OK, and then for the angle you can change that again. It's all self-explanatory, but I recommend 45 for my specific style. So then click OK. So now once you're happy with the background you then want to click file and save as. Now to save the background with the logo you want to click on this drop down menu and click on JPEG. Obviously name the file whatever you want, just make sure it's named accordingly, and once you're satisfied click on save. So once you saved it you want to make sure the slider is on large file, and then you want to click on OK. So that's it, you're practically done. You've done your transparent logo and your solid logo, and now you're good to go. So this has been me, Mr. Acceptable, showing you how I made my logo. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was very useful. If you have any questions please leave them in the comments down below, and also if you have any suggestions on future tutorial videos please let me know. And as always, please like and share this video, because that would be most acceptable. And whatever you do, just make it acceptable. Goodbye.